much of your own, David, how much of your own formative years, kind of the 70s experience, you grew up in the New York area, how much of that kind of informed this movie?
I have a great passion for it. I don't think of making a period movie. People say, oh, you captured the period, or they go, oh, you captured Lowell, Massachusetts, or you captured Philly. We never per se set out to do that. Or I never say, they say The Fighter's a boxing movie, or SLP is a romantic comedy. I would never in a million years think those things. I understand that people say those things. But to me, I just think of the characters from the feet up, and I fall in love with them, and I want the audiences to love them in spite of whatever mistakes they're struggling through. And I end up loving their world and wanting to make their world. And this was that version of that world. From WINS, radio, which is like mother's milk to me. My dad had that on every morning when he was shaving. They give us 20 minutes, we'll give you the world. In other news today, this whole, there's all kinds of things like that. From the clothes to the comb over, all based on, if I told you what it was based on in truth, you would be surprised what was true and what wasn't true. And maybe that's a fun thing to talk about.
You're talking about specifically the ab scam.
Well, what is true about these actual people at that actual time, and what did we fictionalize? For the sake of cinema and the story, because I care about what's going on in the people's hearts in there, and you use the story as almost a blowtorch to move the emotion of the characters and to get to know these people who are really making decisions in their hearts about who they want to be. And that's what exhilarates me when I go to a movie, is if I see somebody go through something like that in their own heart, and I get a great energy from it. The Irving character was very much looked like Christian Bale. I called him the Badger. He looked and moved like a badger, based on a true fella that looked like that. Christian lost several inches off his height. He sunk into his neck. He herniated a disc. He added a frightening amount of weight that I said, please stop, but he likes scaring me sometimes, I think. He gets off on it a little bit, and he just likes to push into these places where it's just his thing, or it's his thing. And I remember when we introduced him to De Niro, he met everybody on the set, and De Niro pulled me aside and he said, and that's Jeremy, and that's Amy, and there's Jennifer. Who's that guy? That guy. I said, you just shook his hand. You just met that guy. That's Christian Bale. He goes, no, that guy. I go, yeah, that's Christian Bale. He goes, that's Christian Bale? I said, yeah. He goes, wow, he looks really different. And that was a compliment from Mr. De Niro. And Mr. De Niro got very excited to play that guy, that was very exciting for us to do that and to speak Arabic, which is based on something that was true. See how crazy that is? That's too crazy to believe. Except in real life, it was a guy named Malnick, who was an associate of Lansky from Miami, who they met on a yacht, not on a casino. And the guy shocked them by speaking fluent Arabic, which, and the guy playing the Arab in the real life wasn't even a Mexican-American like Michael Pena. He was Brian Dennehy's brother, who happened to be a cop. So the truth was just even crazier, so we just pulled it in a little bit, and it's still, fantastic to be threatened by Robert De Niro in Arabic. You want him to be that scary person at the back of the end of the dark tunnel where, the whole thing is starting to come apart.